Hi friends, thank you so much for being here. Today's video, I'm gonna update you on my thoughts on recent purchases, things that I've tried within the past couple of months. Some I've spoken about and given my first impressions. Some are new that I haven't even spoken about on my channel, but I wanna share my final thoughts to let you know if these products are worth your money or not. And also, I have the new Fenty Beauty lip liners. I am wearing one of the shades today, and this is the look that we created. So if you want to know about the new Fenty Beauty lip liners and my final thoughts on some products, then let's go. Okay, first things first, I want to talk about two different bronzing drop kind of products. So I have the e.l.f. Skin bronzing drops and also the Glow Recipe Hue drops. I went ahead and swatched both. So on this side we have the e.l.f. and then this side is the Glow Recipe. I'm gonna do one on each side. I'm gonna take about that much with the Glow Recipe and put it on this side of my face. Now with the e.l.f. drops, they do recommend to mix this in with something. So I am going to be using my favorite moisturizer by Selfless by Hiram. That's what that concoction looks like. And I have the shade Pure Gold. It's gonna go on this side. I'm gonna add a little bit more of Glow Recipe just so we can see this one better. Overall, I just don't think I'm a fan of bronzing drops used in this way. I only like bronzing drops mixed in with whatever base product like foundation or skin tint to help shade match me, especially in the summer. But out of the two of these, I do regret purchasing the Glow Recipe one. This one does basically nothing. I would say just go for the Dewdrops. The Dewdrops is more liquidy, it feels more hydrating, and both of them do give you a glow, but because this one has pigment, it is not as hydrating feeling on the skin. It feels less like a serum than the original, and it's just too subtle to make a product this expensive worth it. This is like $34. The e.l.f. one definitely has a more even pigmentation. I find with the Glow Recipe, you have to really work it in so that it doesn't look streaky, because this is so sheer that it's very obvious when it does look streaky. The only con about the e.l.f. one is this dries pretty quickly, especially if you're mixing it into a foundation as opposed to a moisturizer like I did. I have gone in with this with my foundations and I find that it makes the foundation dry quicker, so I do have to work more quickly. All in all, just go for the e.l.f. one. I don't regret buying this because I have used this as a mixer to help me shade match with my summer shade. I would just skip out on this. If you want to try Glow Recipe, just get the Dewdrops. Off of camera, I applied my CC Plus Nude Glow by IT Cosmetics in the shade Medium Tan. And then I concealed with my Tower 28 Serum Concealer in the shade MDR. And then I primed my lids with the Kokie Full Coverage Double Time Concealer. Next, I want to talk about these two products from Milk Makeup. First is the matte bronzer stick, which I'm extremely familiar with. I used to use the shade Baked back in college, but I've never actually used this on my channel before. I recently repurchased it because it was on sale on Amazon, and I have the shade Blaze. And then this one I have used before. It's their Sculpt stick, and I have the shade Stoked. This is that contour shade in Stoked. And this one is Blaze and the bronzer stick. Unfortunately, when I opened it up, you know, it has the plastic little cover, and with the contour stick, I did not have the issue of taking the cover off. The top was intact, but with this one, it was unavoidable. I ended up breaking off a chunk at the top, and I'm not too mad about it because, for one, how many of us are actually going through an entire bronzer stick? Not me. They glide on so freaking easy. I just think this is like the bronzer stick formula. This is super beginner friendly because it doesn't stick to one place. I could just leave this here for a couple minutes and I'd still be able to blend it out and get a seamless blend. It also diffuses super quickly, like I already blended that part out. Because even though they look shiny, they don't wear like a dewy product or like a liquid. And specifically the bronzer does set down and act more like a natural matte. I usually only use the contour stick for my nose. I'm not that big into contouring in general on the face. These are such a win in my book. Aside from the contour stick, because I know this came out like last year, but their other stick products have always been favorites for me. I've been loving these for like 8 years at this point. Off of camera, I applied a little bit of highlight. Shout out to the Becca highlighters. This one is in Champagne Pop. I have spoken about this recently, so I'm not gonna go too much into it, but this is just such a timeless formula. If you didn't get the chance to try them like when they were really popping, when Becca was still a brand, they're still available, owned under Smashbox and available at Ulta. But anyways, for blush, I finally tried the Patrick Ta blush duos. I've been holding off for so long just because I already have so much freaking blush. Like I definitely didn't need this, but I went into Sephora because I was looking for the Fenty Beauty lip pencils and I spotted these, and I know they just came out with new shades. This isn't one of them, but I was like, because I was in store and I could swatch and everything, they got me. They got me. This one is in the shade She's Blushing, which comes across as the beautiful, like, nudie, sunburnt, like rosy shade on my skin tone. So there's that powder, and then this is the cream. I have been applying this the way that Patrick Ta suggests, so going in with the powder first and then topping it off with the cream. So there's that powder just by itself. Is this worth $38? I don't know, because that's a lot of money. I don't know if I've ever paid this much money for a blush before. I think this might actually be the most expensive blush I've ever bought. But I will say, this is tea. Like, both formulas are absolutely stunning. Going over top of that with the cream now. And these are pigmented. They're pigmented, but they're never hard to work with. The cream just really makes the blush come alive and gives you a super healthy, youthful kind of glow. I wouldn't even have to go in with highlighter. The powder feels like a moisturized powder. Like, it has more of like a thick, soft texture, but not heavy. But I can tell, like, compared to traditional powder blushes, this one feels like a hydrated kind of texture. I would say if this is in your budget, and if you find a shade that really calls to you, which I'm sure you will because he has so many colors, I do think this is worth it. I am very, very happy that I finally tried this, and I'm already looking at getting another shade, one of the new shades in Not Too Much, which is like that natural pinky color. I swatched it in store, and I've been thinking about it ever since. Like, I kind of wish like I just got it when I was in Sephora in person. So these might be my new obsession. When it comes to powder, I've always been more of a loose powder kind of gal versus a pressed powder kind of gal, but ever since I tried the Kosas Cloud Set, this is definitely my favorite pressed powder, and I've been sitting on this purchase for a really long time. I'm extremely picky with powders. There's only 2 loose setting powders that I like, the One Size and the Hourglass. I do like some pressed powders, like banana powders, like the Essence one, the NYX one, and now this one. I recently went into Sephora and got a shade darker, which is the shade Comfy, which is definitely more suitable for my medium skin tone. I did get the travel size versions, but the only thing is, I don't know if the full size is like this, but the dome is very soft and very easy to shatter. So with this one, like half of it just cracked while I was trying to open this. So that's the only downside, is I don't know if it's the packaging that causes it to fracture like that, or if it's the formula is just too soft. I'm just gonna apply some of Comfy just to one side so we can compare. But this is very dry skin friendly. It's very smoothing and never looks like powder. It looks like you put a smoothing filter over your skin. And it's not a finishing powder. It actually does set down the makeup, but it acts like a finishing powder in the sense that it really creates like a seamless veil over the skin. But unlike a finishing powder, it actually does set down the makeup and help with longevity. So there's that side set. Underneath the eyes, a little bit in the center of the face, and then unset. And when it comes in contact with sweat or water, it doesn't do that thing that some powders do where it starts to break apart and leave like spots on your face without coverage because it's like broken down because of the moisture. That doesn't happen with this one. So very happy that I finally hyped on the hype train with this Kosas powder. I did eyeshadow and eyebrows off of camera. For eyebrows, it's the same 2 products I use every single time. The Instant Lift Waterproof Brow Pencil from e.l.f. with the Rare Beauty Laminating Lifting Brow Gel. And then for eyes, I have just been getting back into my Nude Prism. Ever since I used this in my video from a couple weeks ago, the rediscovering old favorites, I have not put this down. Anyways, I want to talk about this Flower Beauty Warrior Princess Mascara. Things I like about the Flower Beauty one. I like that it's a fibrous kind of wand. I do prefer these over like the plasticky silicone banana shaped ones. It's very quick to apply, and you get that volume and darkness with your eyelashes almost immediately. But that is where the pros of this mascara end for me. This formula is extremely wet, which I don't like. I like drier formulation mascaras. I find they're easier to apply, that they last longer, they hold a curl better. This one doesn't really hold a curl. My lashes naturally grow pretty straight, sometimes downwards. So when I don't curl my lashes, this will fall. And even when I do curl my lashes with a lash curler, it will fall after only like 2 or 3 hours. For me, with my smaller eyes, I do find I have to be extra careful. And without fail, every single time I put this mascara on, I will get some kind of smudging. I actually never wear this mascara on the bottom lashes. I'm not even gonna do that today. So this is just with one coat. And I do like the volume. I like the effect of it. But if I go in with a second layer, that's when things start to get a little bit too clumpy and spidery for me. It does the thing where like you'll have the clumps of mascara on the tips of your lashes and it just makes your eyelashes like clump together. Right now, I think it looks fine. This is with like 1.5 coats. I don't think this is the worst mascara. I think depending on your preference, this could be your perfect mascara. I definitely won't be repurchasing the Flower Beauty one. Before we get into the new Fenty Beauty lip liners, I do have 2 lip products that I want to update my thoughts on. So I feel like I'm probably going to be one of the only people on the internet to say this and feel this way, but I don't like the Summer Fridays lip butter balms. When I first got these, I was like, okay, I understand the hype. They felt occlusive, they felt thick and balmy and like yummy. I liked the colors, like I liked how they smelled, and everything was fine and dandy until 3 months into using these, I was starting to notice that when I would put these on, a couple hours later, I would look at my lips and they would have all these lines and cracks in them and dryness. The few creators that feel the same way as me, I saw them saying that this also dried out their lips and they didn't get the hype, and that just really validated it in my head that no, I'm not crazy, and I really do think that these dry out my lips. Like, I don't know, is it just my lip chemistry, just my skin? I do have dry skin. However, the Naturium Fido Glow lip balms have never done that to me. I want to like these, but honestly, I've stopped using them for months, and just wanted to come on here and tell you that even though these are trendy, you don't need these. And the Naturium ones are my favorite squeezy tube lip balms, and they're also affordable. So I would just say go for the Naturium ones. Those ones also smell good. They also come in a ton of colors. They're only $10. You can bundle for less. And if you think that these also dry out your lips, you're not crazy. They probably are drying out your lips. These are not for me. Next, I have this Half Magic 2-in-1 lip liner. So they have a bunch of these colors. I like the concept of this because you get 2 tones of lip liner. The brown color is called I'll Pray For You. And then this peachy one is called I Have Needs. Here's the thing though. They glide on super easily, but they're also sticky. This bothers me. This is sticky. And when you try to blend these 2 colors together, like they don't blend together because this formula is so freaking stiff. It's impossible to diffuse the colors and smush them together so that you get an even gradient on your lips. I regret purchasing this. I kind of wish I was able to swatch these in store, but none of the Ultas I have around me have testers or have this product in store, so I wasn't able to do that. And I've heard other people rave about this, so I really thought that this was gonna work for me. The concept and the colors themselves I like, but the execution and the texture of the product I don't like. But moving on to something I do like. Spoiler alert, I really like these Fenty Beauty lip liners. They ate that. I have 2 shades. This bottom one is the shade Rubber Bands, and then the top one, this darker brown, is Extra Thigh. Pros about these lip liners, they are super glidey and they set down almost immediately. If you like the NYX Line Loud, you are going to love the Fenty Beauty ones, and they are very, very budge proof. The pros for this can also be a con. I will say the application of this can be a little bit tricky, especially if you struggle with lip liner, if you're a beginner. And so I feel like this actually isn't the most beginner friendly because you really need to work quickly because these set so quick. So if you make a mistake, if you go out of the line, if something's uneven, you have to work immediately to correct it with concealer or wipe it away with like a brush. Otherwise, it's gonna set down and it's gonna stain your skin and you're gonna be screwed. For today, I'm gonna go in with Rubber Bands, which is the lighter of the 2. I know these look extremely similar, like they basically look the same. However, Rubber Bands has more of like a neutral / warm undertone, and then Extra Thigh is more of that cool toned, contoury kind of color. I love this color. The way that I described the Half Magic lip liners to be like kind of sticky, especially when you like press your lips together, These are not like that. These are $20 each. They are a sharpenable pencil. They're not a twist up, and they don't come with a sharpener. There's no sharpener in the butt of the pencil. To finish off the lip combo, I'm going in with the O Face Satin Lipstick from e.l.f. in the shade Drive. It's giving 90s brown lip, and I love. And if you want to see more tutorials, get ready with me's reviews and other makeup tings, then like, comment, subscribe. I am sending you guys so much love and light. And I will see you in the next one.